no dark ones in the area, so that the apprentice's final test was little more than a formality. And anyway, Cullen was now a skilled hunting wolf, and Ahren was well on the way to becoming a master marksman. They had caught a succulent wild boar the first day, which meant Ahren had enough food to keep them going until the coast. The river they were following provided them with drinking water, and Cullen's sensitive nose and ears ensured that nobody would creep up on them unnoticed. This explained his four-footed friend's crankiness. He had to do the hard work, concentrating fully on their surroundings, whereas Ahren's only job was to find a walkable route along the river bank. Whenever he encountered impassable tendrils or thorny bushes, he would swim for a little down-river until the undergrowth became negotiable again.
"Thank you for looking after me so well," said Ahren quietly, tickling Cullen between the ears.
The wolf lowered his head to make it easier for the apprentice, and the young man found himself grinning once again.
"I'm really glad that you've stopped growing at last. Thankfully we can still fit you into a stall, if necessary," murmured Ahren affectionately.
The wolf had grown slowly but surely during their whole journey across Jurath, and they had been forced to disguise him as a pony so that he would remain inconspicuous. Now the disguise magic would presumably present him as a charger, considering the size he was now. Cullen snorted dismissively. "Those disgusting stables are not for me," he said brusquely. The wolf had hated travelling as a pony, his vanity leading him to see an overnight stay in the hay as an affront.
"What would Celsina have to say regarding your views on stables?" said Ahren out loud, winking mischievously at his friend.
Cullen flinched. He had developed a deep respect for Falk's sole animal, and a carefree friendship now existed between the wolf and the Titijunanwa. "No need to say anything about that," responded the animal defensively. "We don't want to upset Celsi now, do we?" Ahren smiled again and tousled the wolf's fur. "Don't worry, it will be our secret," he said conspiratorially. Suddenly Cullen sneezed. Ahren grimaced, his face now speckled with wolf snot. "Excuse me," said his friend hastily. "You have something on your hand that tickled my nose." Cullen sneezed again, and the apprentice quickly retreated a step. "I pushed aside a shrub with sharp-smelling fruit earlier," he said, wiping his left arm, which had become stained. "It seems to be a southern variety of sneeze fern." "Seems to be," replied Cullen, and sneezed so violently he shook all over. Ahren stepped to the river and began to wash his face and arm thoroughly. His eyes were attracted to a shallow part of the water near the bank, where the surface was smooth and calm. The mirror image that looked back at him seemed to belong to a stranger. Frazzled, nut-brown hair fell over the forehead and neck of the young man looking back at him with earnest green eyes. Ahren had been cutting his own hair with a knife for many moons now, any time it blocked his view, and without much regard for aesthetics. A short, thick, reddish-brown beard reminded him that it was time for a shave, something that was becoming an ever more frequent occurrence and that he found most annoying. His broad shoulders and muscular torso were protected by elven ribbon armor, whose eponymous leather straps he had been forced to adjust several times, so that the armor would continue to fit him. Not for the first time, he marveled at Gelnin Nolan's foresight in giving him armor that adapted to his growth spurts. Ahren absently drew his hands through the river water, shattering his mirror image. "It seems we're both fully grown now," said Cullen feelingly. The prospective forest guardian nodded silently and stood up without looking at the wolf. "Enough dawdling," he said aloud. "We need to keep going. After all, the others are waiting for us." "Especially a certain swordswoman," teased Cullen. Ahren immediately